Hello, another exciting day with Ecology Matters. I'm Jeanette.
I'm Pat.
And here we are at a nature reserve in Wales.
We should say bore da or croeso to say welcome and good morning. We're here to look at exciting bat project.
Any idea what this hole in the wall's all about? Well, it's actually purposely built for bats.
Now, on this job, as you already know if you've watched some of our other videos, we have some problems getting into and out of buildings. On this occasion, we're at a site that used to be an explosives factory, and all the doors are incredibly heavy, solid, big pieces of metal. And it's really difficult getting into them. As you can see, a bit of elbow grease is needed, and sometimes a bit of brute force. There's lots of keys to go through, and at some point we will get in the building and show you some of the features.
I hate to admit it, but I think I'm going to have to let Pat have a go. Success, the door's open. I'm glad to say it wasn't the lack of strength, it had the wrong lock. But anyway, we're in now. Or are we? Okay, quickly, I've got a staple gun and a knife. I'm going into a bat building. What on earth am I going to be doing next? So we've made it inside, folks. Follow me now and I'll show you what we're up to.
This is a building full of exciting ideas and opportunities. Just while we're waiting for Jeanette to come and show us whereabouts we're going next, there's a roof void in this building, which is brilliant. The reason I can talk quite loudly is there aren't any bats in here today. That's why we're able to come and do some of the work. And down below it here is what we call a kind of a cool chamber. It's cool because it's absolutely brilliant, of course, but it's also cool because it's a place that helps to retain low, stable temperatures for bats, particularly useful during the winter season.
It's pretty dark up here, but no worries, we've got plenty of light for doing the work. Come on up inside this roof void and I'll show you a little bit more.
We're at one end of the roof void. We're actually at the south end of the roof void, which catch a lot more sun and also grabs a lot more of that sort of solar radiation, that insulation, the stuff that comes in and heats this roof void up and makes it so suitable. And would you believe it, all the bat signs, or most of the bat signs anyway, are at this end of the roof void. Just look at the depth of these piles of droppings here. This is an accumulation of bat droppings over many years from where the bats cluster at this end of the roof void. So we know we've got the bats here, we know they use certain parts of the roof void. What we're going to try and do is increase its usefulness, is make it even better for those bats. What we're trying to do here today is to close down the roof void a little bit by creating some sort of baffles, if you like, and partitions between it. Not to stop the bats flying, the bats will still be able to get around, but to make sure that each individual bit of the roof void gets a better chance to achieve more suitable conditions for the bats. So the plan is we're going to use some visqueen, some thick sort of plastic sheeting. We're going to attach it to all these different roof structures and try and make some sort of barriers to provide those conditions that we're after. Let's get started with the visqueen, see how we get on.
Okay, so we're just about done, and boy am I glad because my knees are killing me. Anyway, it's all in a good course and I'm glad to say it's finished for now. We've used this technique before. It might not win any design awards, but it's simple, cheap and very effective. The bats can fly around here behind that other baffle and to their favourite roosting place. Hopefully it'll work in terms of keeping the temperature a little bit warmer for longer.
Right, here's how it's supposed to work. Because we haven't got a bat to demonstrate for us, so you're going to have to put up with me and Jeanette instead. There's the access to the roof void. The bats will fly up or down, of course, and instead of having a completely open roof void, they'll now have this baffle, which cuts down a lot of light and air movement, drafts and what have you. The bats will fly around and through. There's another baffle there, so there's kind of a double arrangement. The bats will fly around this one. God, God, it's a lot easier being a bat in this confined space. And there they'll go finally to their main roosting point, and of course there'll be one at the other end as well. And there's Jeanette just demonstrating where all those droppings are again, and the evidence of where the bats have been roosting. And just so you can see in here, the bats roost up inside this sort of enclosed area. We call it a hot box, just a slightly enclosed area of roof void where they can attach themselves to the roof felt, the underside of the roof, some of those little bits of wood, and hopefully hang up here peacefully. Here's the other bit of the bat building. This is right at the end in the sort of cooler ground floor, and you can see that the bats would kind of fly through this access point here, and there's another cool chamber for them to utilise in this room. Interestingly, we've had the brown long-eared, I think natterers, and also lesser horseshoes in here so far. There's one of the baffles, and as we walk out of the building, oh, there's Jeanette. Another hibernation chamber, cool chamber. The roof void is just up here. You can see the access hatch that we went through before. Bits and pieces on the walls. I think we might have to come back another day to look at this. There's the sign reminding us when the building was created or refurbished completely. There's another section down here, a long ground floor section where the bats can roost. And finally, around the last sort of baffle towards the entrance, there's Jeanette at the door, and there's the bats flying. And that's the only access point for bats to this building just at the moment.